Maybe you have a business or you want to start one, but one thing is clear. You need more paying clients. And one way to do that is to start working from home. Well, that's what I did, and I want to share my story. Firstly, let's talk about understanding the remote work landscape as a dietitian. Now, it's still not normal to work remote, although since COVID, many people are doing it and it's become more accepted. It's still not mainstream. And that's true for the statistics for non-dietitians as well. Last time I checked, only 16% of people work fully remote. Now that's a really small percentage. So as a dietitian, there are opportunities, but it's still not considered mainstream. So you might be wanting to do partial work from home, or you might want to do half-time work from home, but to work fully remote from home is going to take different skills that you're going to have to learn and adapt because it's still not considered conventional yet. I think it'll change, but the remote landscape is not fully adopted. And we know that because of licensure regulations. And although there are attempts being made to help us with licensure across state lines, it's still a little convoluted. And it's partially because the world is trying to catch up with the demands of dietitians working remotely. I know other practitioners like nurses and doctors have figured out their compact laws with licensure, but dietitians, well, we're still working on it. And keep in mind that we can offer other products as well, like courses and ebooks and different things. And I have a whole section on licensure from our lawyer in my membership that goes over the logistics to make sure that you're legally protected and protecting your license. So if you're interested in joining my membership, check the link below. There are pros and cons for working at home as a dietitian. Now, you might not realize it, but working at home is not for everyone. It can be lonely. And if you are okay and self-motivated and disciplined, working from home is a good option for you. So think of it like the distance internship. Now, I did a distance internship and I loved it. I thought it was the best choice I had made in my dietetics career because it offered a lot of autonomy and I got to set up my own rotations and I had a lot of internal motivation to be able to complete my dietetic internship and set up all my rotations, even when things didn't work out as planned, because that always happens. That's no different than working from home. If you don't have internal motivation and you aren't able to stick to a schedule consistently, working from home is going to be really hard for you. And that's true as well as a business owner. If you want to become a business owner and really embrace that CEO mindset, you're going to need to learn how to stick to a schedule because things are going to have to get done. You're going to have to manage admin, make sure the invoices are paid. If you're not doing it, make sure the person that's appointed to do it is doing it. If you're doing insurance, you got to go over the credentialing. Now, if you're marketing on different platforms and there's changes in platforms and dimensions and algorithms, you're going to have to oversee that. Even if someone else is overseeing it, they might report back up to you. So there's a lot of responsibilities and you're going to have to learn how to grasp time management and stress management when you work from home and as an independent, as you're working for yourself as a business owner, because there's a lot of different skills needed than when you're working that 9-to-5 job and you're being told what to do and you're being handed the policies and you have to fit within other people's rules and constructs. So keep in mind that remote work will require autonomy, discipline, and a lot of your ability to self-control. So it's not like, you can just take breaks whenever you want. Yes, you can. And I love taking a mid-afternoon break, but I've structured and scheduled a midday break for my benefit. So I've had to think about it. Now, there are other business owners that will do what they want when they feel like it. And if that's you, comment below. But for most business owners that are managing multiple pieces, including the marketing and the sales and the finance and the email marketing and the sales and customer service, you're going to have a sense of structure to your day. And that's going to have to come internally from your motivation because nobody's telling you to do it when you're your own boss. The good part of that is that you can learn new skills. The bad part of that is that it can feel overwhelming, which is why having a community and having a step-by-step plan can help so you can start to anticipate things that you would have never known would be issues, like paying quarterly taxes and maybe not realizing how much you have to pay or not understanding the difference between a contractor or an employee or other aspects of business ownership that might feel daunting if you're new to it. You want to identify remote work opportunities and possible employers, and you can do that from an easy Google search. You can search the keywords like dietitian and a specialty, consulting work. You can even look at your local community to see if there's remote opportunities within your local community. There's a lot of different job boards and ways that you can search for opportunities. You can even expand your search and type nutritionist, dietitian, different types of keywords to see what's available. You can set yourself alarms so that you are receiving emails and notifications when certain job opportunities that might have keywords come in that could be remote work opportunities if you want to be a consultant and a freelancer. That is, of course, if you're not creating your own business. And if you are creating your own business, but you're doing so on the side, you might also want to be looking for remote work on the part-time side when you're building your business on the side as well. If you want a full video about how to do that, comment below and I'll consider making it. Now you got to set up your home office. So that's the fun part, right? I noticed that a lot of clinicians like me that are business coaches, we talk a lot about the home office setup. And I don't want to overemphasize this because it is important, but you don't need this decked out, expensive home office to start. You just need a comfortable, professional looking space. And because of technology, you can blur out the background if you don't yet have an attractive background right now in your office, but work with what you have at the time because your apartment or house might not be set up for a home office and you might have to just work with the space that you have. So find a corner or a comfortable space, make sure it's ergonomic so that your chair is comfortable and that you're positioned correctly where you can stand for or sit for a decent amount of time. I have a standing desk now, which is nice because I like to rotate between sitting and standing with an emphasis on standing. And you want to make sure that your office feels comfortable to you. So maybe you have plants like I have in the background. I don't know if you can see them. And I've got my dog is around here too, hanging out. So my space is very comfortable for me, and I have a lot of pictures and lighting and things that fit my personality and my style. With your home office, you want to maintain a professional image, and what that could mean is making sure that your background is aligned with your brand, and that you are presenting yourself in a way that feels comfortable and confident to you. And that's going to be a personal decision about how you want that to look. But I'd say a general tip is making sure that the background looks okay for when you're on video. One of the hardest things about working from home, whether it's part-time, full-time, and whether you're a contractor or you're working for your own business, is balancing that work life. And if you thought that was hard as an employee, try working from home because it's really hard to distinguish the end of day from when you're transitioning from your home office to the couch, or if you have your home office set up in your bedroom, it can be weird to create that space between your work day and then relaxing at night. And so you want to think about what can you do to make sure that you're creating that balance. It might be that you have a hard stop at a certain hour, you're not working after 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., or it might mean that you have a ritual. At the end of your workday, you might take your dog for a walk or go for a workout or make a cup of tea or something to remind you that you're transitioning from your workday to your home day, even though you're in the same space, which, let's be honest, it's a little bit awkward. I think time management is the hardest thing because it's so easy to get comfortable at home, and it's so easy to maybe for some people, they might relax too much. And for me, I forget to take breaks. So I have to remind myself that I give myself a full lunch break and take that time instead of, maybe doing something, checking emails or project managing during my lunch break, which I'll admit I'm guilty of if I don't really practice that discipline and remind myself that breaks are just as important as taking time to relax. So finding that balance for you and creating those controls and checks and balances is part of what you'll need to do to learn how to work from home efficiently and sustainably as a dietitian. If you like this video, I want you to watch this next video on screen about clinical versus private practice and a little bit about my journey and my story and how I started this business, Dietitian Boss.